More?
Felt that over here.
Hold on. Oh, you know something? That's awesome. I started the broadcast without even us being out of the picture. Hang on, everybody.
Wow, that's really good.
We got to play all the
You didn't
commercials.
say anything.
Quiet. We got to play commercials.
This portrait of Jean Grey, the Phoenix, is one of the ones I did for a series of single frame mock-up kind of covers for the Marvelocity book, where my concept was it would work like an accordion. When you open up the book, getting past the initial Captain America cover, you would fold it out and you get Iron Man and character after character after character, and it allowed me then to do multiple Marvel character portraits. Phoenix being one of the most primary Marvel concepts, because her storyline back in 1980, the invention of that character, that maturation of Jean Grey into the Phoenix, was one of the best storylines in the history of comics and stands out as one of the most important female superheroes.
Word Balloon is brought to you by the League of Word Balloon Listeners. Hang on, everybody's coming. See, this is what happens when you work in the dark, everybody. Look, it's Franco. Look, it's Wayne. Hold on. And, of course, the God of Thunder himself, Mighty Thor. You know, if you had the Thor helmet off, Mitch, you looked like Sean Connery at the beginning of The Rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad we got all the technical glitches out.
Yeah. Imagine if we did this sober.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right, welcome everybody. It's time for our Trek Watch with the inclusion of Wayne now in the intro. Just in time for a wrap up of Picard next week, and that's it until Strange New Worlds comes on in 2 months. So, hold on. What the hell? There we go. Sorry, buddy. All right, now
it's the hat. It's the mustache. It's definitely the mustache.
I'm going to smite you.
I know. I'm sorry, man.
By the way, you can go see Star Trek episode 9 and 10 of Picard in an IMAX theater. And I'm like, oh, okay, but I just watched the episode. If I had known that, I would have waited. I would have liked to see it on a big screen.
Well, I understand, but also they, you had to, it was like a raffle to get the tickets.
Oh, it was? Oh, fuck that. I thought it was just like everywhere. Like one of those Phantom events.
And,
Sorry, I'm cranky. Sorry.
Yeah, and it's funny. The guys, I think Rob Burnett and a few of the others were talking about the screening of the IMAX version, and it's almost like on the one hand, Paramount felt secure enough to do this event and do it in 10 cities and I don't know how many screens, but it isn't an official Fathom event, so it could have been in more screens if they had gone with Fathom. So it is kind of a weird, hey, we got a hit. Well, not quite. Did you hear the statistic news about Star Trek Picard? For the first time since
it hit the streaming.
Yes, it made the top 10 list. It's number 9, but I mean it was a millions number, so that was or if not, I think it was like a 3 million number. Probably somebody in the chat might know, but that's funny. Oh. The Wheeze is acknowledging your cosplay there.
Well, you'd have to know. Hey, man, thank you. You'd have to know how many fucking subscribers they have on Paramount, wouldn't you?
Well, I think this is a Nielsen rating, so they have things in the houses.
So it's got that many subscribers that they. Okay, wow, that's a lot nowadays. It is a lot.
I'm gonna give you guys the number.
It's probably not the actual numbers because the streaming contents won't give those out.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean.
Nielsen in the households, yeah.
Yeah, because up here it's streaming on 2 different platforms.
Yeah, but that's Canada. That's all metric shit. They don't count that. It's all meters and liters and millimeters and shit. They don't know how it works.
They do, and forgive me, I'll get that information as we're talking. But we can talk about episode 8, so we could talk about episode 8 and 9 if you guys want.
Why did we talk about episode 8? Where was everybody
about
last
episode 8 last week?
Did we? All right, I was confused. I'm sorry. You're right. I assumed, especially given the way episode 8 ended, where we're literally it's like open the fucking door, Jack.
Yeah, that's what you said on the last episode. You're like,
all right. I knew I said it to you guys in private. So yeah, all right.
Short-term memory ain't what it used to be, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. I need my ginkgo biloba or whatever. Some of these over the counter
in your brain.
All right, fine. Episode 9. We open the door, and it's the Borg, and again, that was kind of my like. All right.
No,
but it was good.
Good. What are you talking about? That was great.
It's an interesting concept, that the gene splicing and all that with the transporters, but I thought the Borgs were our friends after season 2.
Well, no, because I thought that for a minute, but you had to go and watch. There was a scene with Shaw where he said, like in episode 2 or 3 in this season 3, he goes, "Yeah, you could forget all about that Borg Queen, whatever that girl's name was, Alison Pill's character." He even says, he goes, "Yeah, don't even bring up that Borg Queen shit." It was actually in the show, and I'm like, wow, when their own characters are telling you don't give a crap about the previous season, what's that tell you? There were some major shakeups going on behind the scenes there.
Yeah,
that they dismissed the whole season 2, like it's like Highlander 2.
Yeah, but that also happened in the past. Come on. Most of that,
No, it was a letdown because I was telling my buddy, he goes, "Wait, wasn't the Borg Queen just on it last season?" I go, "Yeah, but they don't talk about that." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Yeah, we don't talk about Borg.
I got the Nielsen stats. You're right, Francis. It was Nielsen. First of all, once again, right. But here we go.
Thank you.
And it's an impressive number. I mean, really, the top original series right now, and this is like watches and rewatches. But I guess you at 1.2 billion minutes.
Me?
Yeah. I don't know what it's on. All I know is that's the title. But anyway, Mandalorian is at it's number 3 at 1.12 billion.
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 Wow, more people than on the Earth.
So going down the list, I'm going to give you some of the favorites. Ted Lasso on Apple TV Plus is number 6 at 539 million. And Star Trek Picard at number 9, 310 million.
These are crazy numbers, buddy.
That's good. I hope Paramount is paying attention.
Oh, I don't want to correct anybody to sound bad. I was just looking back at the old feed. We stopped at episode 7.
Okay, I thought it was 8 and 9 that we.
That was on April 4th.
Chicago
episode 7.
We just said that. I just said that we stopped at episode 7 and we have to do 8 and 9.
Anyway,
I'm a blonde.
So
what do I know?
We can conflate. What's going on? I'm sorry, Francis.
Man.
I know. I got the word balloon over your Borg cube.
What happened in episode 8? Oh, nothing really. It was actually like almost a filler.
Well, no, it was the taking over the ship episode.
No, it was Troy and Riker having a moment.
Yeah.
And that was kind of about
that was
it.
John's big question was, well, we didn't see what happened to Troy and Riker. And then episode 8 shows you Troy and Riker.
But we also got.
What? Where's their daughter? Because somebody said she's at Starfleet. So does that mean she got Borgified too?
I saw no mention of Kestra being at Starfleet. None.
Well, if you watch one of those other good YouTube shows about Star Trek,
I would not count on any other YouTube
They
show.
said there's a scene with her in it, and they said, "Oh, she's safely away at Starfleet Academy." There was a line of dialogue. I go,
yeah,
I
but
didn't
she's
see
under
that.
25, so she's now Borg.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so she's
I know. I
cool.
love. Boy, there's a good anti-ageism message. Yeah, if you're young, you're fucked. Sorry.
No, and how does that affect the Vulcans? Because I would assume that they, their frontal lobes are different from humans. I thought it would only affect humans because Picard being human, it would only affect them. So all the other alien species should be fine. But I guess that's too much. So don't ruin it. Don't say anything.
Anyway, another thing that happened in 8 was, of course, the death of Vatic, and we got her last word. Of course, she had to drop an F-bomb before she shattered in a bunch of sucked out of the airlock and everything.
Is that what we would refer to as space dust? Did she literally become space dust? Is that what happens?
Space
Space-
Nuggets.
Space Shimmer.
Space
Shimmer.
Nuggets.
Space
Now at
glitter.
McDonald's.
It's glittering.
Yeah, whatever.
That was a little anticlimactic end for her, right? I thought.
Well, again, I was shocked that she didn't make it to the finale. I understand, but again,
She's a changeling. You never know.
Yeah.
no, they said that apparently on one of the other YouTubes, something I heard them say is the fact that their DNA was manipulated by the humans and stuff. They don't have the same powers as they did when they were pure changeling. Because remember, what was his name? The guy that tried to convince Odo, the changeling, to come with him, Loss.
Sure.
From Deep Space Nine. It was from the last season, and it was J.G. Hertzler. It was Martok as a changeling, and Laz, I believe. And yeah, when he came to Deep Space Nine, he was just traveling through space, kind of like this, like almost like a wave, like a changeling wave. So, do you like that? That's mine.
Like a space sperm. That's weird.
Kind of for real. So, oh yes, and as we said, also in 8, the return of Data. Data had his big fight with Lore.
With Lore, yeah. And then Spot saved the day. He gave him the big cat, and he got all weepy.
See, a lot happened in 8.
It did. I
glossed
guess.
over this. Yeah.
In weeks, man. At least a week.
I understand. But yeah. Oh, excuse me. I didn't know that. David Silly says that Ed Spaliers has 2 shows in the top 10. He's in the show You, and of course Picard. I did not know that.
Who's
What
in
the
You?
hell are you?
Ed Spaliers, Jack Crusher.
Oh.
Yeah. Nice. Let's see here. I mean, it's, I think with time both 8 and 9 sat better with me because, like I said, the first time when I saw it and it's the Borg, I'm like, okay, that's 3 seasons in a row. But I have to say the explanation of transmitting this Borg virus through the transporter is interesting, and also, like much of Star Trek Picard, all 3 seasons, if you ignore the first 2 and focus on 3, you actually have a good story. So from that standpoint, it's like, okay, well, now at least they finally did something interesting with the Borg. But I don't like the way it subjugated the changelings, because I think the changelings are as much of a threat as the Borg was. So granted, not Picard's threat and not directly tied to Picard. But yeah, I kind of don't like them just being stooges for,
Well,
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
the Borg could assimilate anything.
yeah, and the changelings were more of a Deep Space Nine thing, so I get why they're not the big bad, but it was interesting to bring them in and have them kind of be agents of the Borg and everything like that. And I loved, again, I'm an old softy nostalgia guy. I love the reveal of the Enterprise.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of 9, I was like, oh,
I was crying. I was weeping. I was.
big money
I was like,
shot. Absolutely.
and I loved
put the
Worf.
sound up.
I like the weapons array on the E better,
Yeah. And apparently he wrecked the E, but they don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
It was not my fault.
Um,
Seriously, they gave Worf almost every great comedy line.
oh, yeah.
Season.
Oh, Frakes
He's
was
been great.
amazing. In the
Even
2
when
episodes.
he saved them last week, when he said, "Oh, Deanna, I have to tell you that your years of therapy is what made me." And Riker standing right there, like, "Hey, is this a
hello?
rescue?
Inappropriate.
What's going on?"
Yeah, is this a rescue or more torture?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, that was a good
Many
one.
nights I have thought about you, Deanna.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, then she said to him, "Yeah, was that the same one?" She's like, "I knew it wasn't you because he was bad at food, good at food and bad in bed."
No, he was good in bed, bad at pizza.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
Hey, exactly. Hey, that's really good. Hey,
Hey, yeah.
Hey.
Hey, you slept with
Oh,
a
yeah.
changeling. Who
Oh, that'd be interesting, huh?
he was huge.
Exactly. It's like Mr. Fantastic.
Kestra had to turn up her stereo to drown us out. Exactly. Shut up in there. Good Lord, what's gotten into you, literally?
What's going on in there?
Good thing the kid was away at Starfleet Academy.
Oh, and Zadi. Oh,
She's
and
got,
Zadi.
she's got a war paint with her bow and arrow. This is Starfleet Academy. Put the shit down.
Hey, does that mean the crew of lower decks have been assimilated?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be awesome. And when they showed all those ships, I was looking for them. I'm like, wait, if
Looking
they
for the
flew up,
Cerritos.
that means that they're real. And they was I didn't see a Cerritos, but I bet it was there.
The
At
California
very-
class ship.
I was going to say, at the very least, there really should have been a California class ship
Right?
somewhere there. Also, by the way,
What a
listen,
shit ton.
I love that D is back. I that's great. It looks amazing. All that. but are like Geordi and his other daughter the only people at the space museum?
Yeah, there was nobody in that
Yeah.
museum. It's kind of like nobody. It's like the big ball of yarn.
I like
museum.
that he's been
Nobody goes to
tinkering away at this on and off for years. Like,
For
how many
years.
years they exiled this poor guy at this museum, and the
know.
only thing he has left to do is work on this one ship.
And where's Leah Brahms, man? I thought he was banging her.
They didn't say, and obviously that saves them WGA money.
Well-
not using Leah Brown.
I was shocked. I don't know about you boys when I saw Miss Dennehy show up, but as soon as I go, that's not really going to be Shelby, and she
She looked
was
great.
62 years old. I looked it up, and
She's
I found
great.
out daughter of the late great Brian Dennehy. I never put that together
Yeah,
until
this
this week.
This show really is Star Trek legacy up and down. I mean, you got Amanda Plummer and Christopher Plummer,
Yeah,
and now you got Elizabeth and Brian Dennehy. No, it's pretty cool, man.
And you got Picard and his son Jack.
Wait, was Dennehy on Next Generation at one point?
No, I'm just saying in general, hiring actors that are the
Paul,
product
Paul
of-
Sorvino was
Paul
whose
Sorvino
brother?
was.
Yeah, Mir Sorvino. Yeah,
that's
Paul. Yeah, Worf's brother.
right. I have all the. Oh no, that was the dad. I have all the specs.
Oh yeah, that's I love that actor. Theodore Bickle.
Thaddeus something or whatever.
Theodore Bickle.
Theodore Bickle. That's it.
Greg Colombo with Theodore Bickle, and he's
Planet of the Apes.
he's got a massive crush on Edith Bunker and All in the Family. He's the butcher.
That's right.
Mr. Clemmer.
That's right. He's no Michael Lerner. He passed away too this week.
Hey Clemmer, why don't you goose step over here and
Yeah, that's right.
aren't
I
you
remember. Yeah.
merciless to him? Jesus.
Oh, F
Just
Star
like the
Trek. We'll
Jerry's.
just talk about it all in the family all night long.
I love that show. Well, anyway, no, it was great seeing Admiral Daner, who I guess died.
Yeah, they
Well,
took her
two
down.
laser
They got
shots to
her.
the chest, and
Yeah.
they were not set on stun.
You would
No.
assume. You would assume.
And the
Especially
poor
given
Excelsior got taken out.
what the Borgified young people were saying about eliminate everybody. Well, and isn't it interesting? And I'm sure in episode 10 we're gonna have a big shootout with Raffi and Seven. With whatever crew members of the Titan are left.
Yeah. And was that the Enterprise F? Is that what we saw? That big ass ship that came out of
The
space
F.
dock?
Yes.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
F was the one that left. which
That's
showed-
the Star Trek Online Enterprise. F.
It was big. I was like, that's a big ship.
not as big as the Galaxy.
Or her captain. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they say at the end of Star Trek 6 about Sulu. Come on, man.
I'm telling you, if this was a movie, it could have played as a movie. I keep telling my buddy who stopped watching Star Trek after Enterprise went off. He refuses to watch anything J.J. Abrams. I said, dude, this is the best Star Trek The Next Generation episode since it went off the air. What is it, 20-something years ago? And he goes, I don't care. And then when I told him it was the Borg, he goes, again with the Borg? I go, well, he goes, didn't they get wiped out at the end of Voyager? I go, no, they came back a couple times since then. So, stop.
David has an interesting comment, and I want to hear what you guys think. With only one episode left, I'm deeply worried they won't have enough time to resolve everything. I couldn't disagree more.
They're gonna rush it, man.
No,
Well,
no,
and,
no.
yeah, but it's an easy shopping list, isn't it? I mean,
Is
what are we talking about? We obviously we got to wrest control from the Borg
Yeah,
back.
They're going
we
to do
have
a
to- we have to
slingshot
deal with-
maneuver around the sun.
We got to deal with
right.
We got to
Go back
deal
in
with
time.
Jack. We
Yeah.
got to deal with Jack. And what else?
Do you guys want to hear my prediction?
Sure.
Okay, it's going to get right up to the end of the episode, and they're not going to be making any headway. And then suddenly, Michael Burnham comes back from the future
No.
and saves everything.
As the Red
Let's
Angel.
hope so.
You know what's gonna happen? Q's gonna show up. He's gonna be in a shower with Jean-Luc Picard, and it was all a dream.
All a
Seasons
dream.
1 and 2. Hello, Jean-Luc. It's me, Q. You watch.
And
else-
J.R. Ewing is there with them too. Yeah.
When the crew of the Excelsior
Yes.
took the ship back, that was crushing, says
Mhm.
Louise. And I like Louise's prediction. Picard will kill Jack. I'm very sorry. Pip. Pip.
No. Jack is gonna become the Borg king. Because
Right.
we've never seen a Borg king. We've only seen a Borg queen. And
Yep.
because he's half Picard, he's gonna just make them all nicey nice. You watch.
Borg Prince Jack works for me, says Wesley Jones.
Yep.
Unassimilated changelings work with Borg feels a little off, just a little off,
They made,
but I
yeah,
can live with it.
they made a big deal about Jack saying that I have feelings, I have emotions, and So you know that's going to play into what's going to happen there. Yeah,
I did like the subtext of. I always felt that if we could all talk together with one voice and all this stuff, like you know, that it's great. It's like, yeah, that's great, Jack. Welcome. That's you're a member of the Borg party. I don't know how to pay it.
Yeah, it's another
party of 30 million right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack Crusher doesn't believe in individuality. He wants us all to speak with one voice. Please don't vote for Jack Crusher. Paid for by the enemies of Jack Crusher.
Do you think they really worry about the timeline that Discovery did about the shitty 1,000 years in the future and what happens to the Federation falling apart, or is this like a clean slate? And they're like, you know what? We don't care what they did. We're going to do our own stories. Don't worry about the Federation falling apart.
No, it's let's live for today, as the Grassroots once sang 50 or 60 years ago.
And the Discovery timeline, well, that whole timeline deals with the guy screaming about his mommy and dilithium.
Hey, you want to get rid of dilithium? The two aliens that were worried that warp drive was ripping apart space. We're very happy that that guy in the future ruined dilithium and everything. All right,
maybe they can change everything.
Try warp 1 now, asshole.
Oh, look, another Borg. Yeah,
good
I
Lord.
Love what he says. I love the carpet.
I'm sorry, cool. Mitch, go ahead.
When he said when they were on the dude, I don't care. I had that cranking up. My wife's sitting there. She goes, "Why is the TV so loud?" I go, "Shut up!" And I just had it blasting. And as they're walking on that bridge, I'm like, "Oh, everything's there. Look, the chairs and everything is squeaking." And
did you notice that suddenly the lighting got from dark to bright?
Real bright, right? I noticed that too.
See stuff again.
You need to put sunglasses on to watch the show.
Put that picture up again, and you can see everybody's faces and everything that they're wearing.
Now, like, is that who is that over there? I can't
look at that. Look at that lighting.
Yeah,
I know.
Somebody finally paid the light bill. Exactly.
All
right, ComEd, get your check. Fine.
It was Geordi. He's been taking.
I don't know how they got Shaw. How could they shoot Shaw? It was completely dark in there. It's like, I think I hit him. I don't know. Maybe he's
a few times.
I was very sorry to see Shaw go. We all were.
Well, do you think he died?
Yes.
Well, that's what they're saying in the chat. They're wondering.
I know, but I was thinking there's always like a silver lining, like maybe the nanites can fix
the slingshot effect. Again, that'll take care of everything.
No, I'm hoping
they're going to bring back some whales, and the whales will take care of it.
And he called her 7 of 9 at the end of it.
Yeah.
Here.
Nah, it's
you don't need Raffi at all in that show, honestly. I was like, that's like, yeah, we got to put her on because she's under contract, but she really ain't doing anything. So.
Well, she helps to introduce Worf.
Well, but like I said previously, you could have, if you weren't obligated to have Raffi in the story, and I'm sure she had a contract, you could have done all this with 7 and Worf.
Yep.
And it would have made sense that 7 was still an outlier and not in Starfleet. But again, I like 7's story fine, and I will say, as a big Raffi disliker, if not hater, that what they did with her this year was a vast improvement.
Yes, I agree.
No, I think this season, you know, it's interesting. Did you notice? Did you guys see on the credits who played the voice of the Borg Queen?
I was the woman that died, wasn't it?
Who was it?
Oh, it was the original one from the movie. That's who it was.
Alice Krieg.
Alice Krieg. Yeah.
Who also played her in Voyager's Endgame, because there was that Susanna Thompson or whatever who played her first in Voyager in that Dark Frontier 2-hour movie. But yeah, at least came back for the final episode. But it was interesting, and this is another thing I had heard that Rob said. See, I trust Rob. If Rob Burnett says it, I trust it because he's kind of got the inside pipeline. He's talking to Metalis all the time. He's had so many of the writers of the various episodes of season 3 on his show. But he said 2 things, and then both Metalis tried to get Elise Krieg on camera, and it would have been too expensive, says Paramount. So he was able to circumvent it by just having her voice, and she was kind enough to take less money, which is cool. And then also he really wanted Kate Mulgrew on the show, and Paramount said no because she's tied to Prodigy.
Oh,
okay.
Well, okay. If it wasn't Shelby, that's what I thought it was for a brief minute. I said, "Oh, is that her?" No, it's not Mulgrew. when she was on the Enterprise. It could have been her.
Well, I would have preferred because I don't want to see Janeway get shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, maybe even again, kind of in that same way Stacey Abrams was used in Discovery, where okay, everything's wrapped up and happy, and here's Admiral Janeway. Way to go, Admiral Picard! You saved this again. Some kind of shit like that. Oh, thanks, Haas. Haas says this is my favorite podcast. Of course it is, Haas, because we're talking Star Trek.
Oh yeah, Haas.
I'd be talking to you about this at New York Comic Con during dinner right now, if not doing this show. So there you go, man. Yeah, everyone loves the carpet.
Yes, the carpet was very good.
Walking the red carpet.
You know what? I thought Beverly's going to solve the thing because when they said how they did a shortcut with the transporter, that they said, oh, because everyone's got the same DNA, we don't have to keep redoing it. Let's just do a shortcut and we'll put that filter in, and that's how the Borg got in. I'm thinking, well, why can't they take the transporter from the old ships and just have everybody re-beam through and just put like a filter through and eliminate the Borg, whatever the hell is in their DNA. That's how they'll save everybody. They'll just send a little program patch.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. The Enterprise D is huge. It had over 1,000 people on it when it was in normal.
Yeah,
service. But hold on. But my point is, how are they going to do? I mean, I would imagine you're right, Mitch.
Dana will just plug in and just send something through the entire software.
Probably.
It'd be like an iPhone update.
Yeah, like an iPhone. Everyone turn off their ships for 10 seconds and wait till the light comes back on.
Turn it off. Yeah.
Turn it
off. For the spinning wheel.
Because you're right. They only have 50 minutes to wrap this sucker up, and they've got 7 different storylines they have to do,
All right, name all 7, Mitch. Like I said, I think 3.
You're not going to kill Data again.
Data's back. That's
okay,
not. That's
Data's back.
So sorry, I don't agree. That's not one.
All right, now I'm going to tell them all. Jordy's got to be reunited with his daughters, so you're going to have a scene where they all get back together again. And
1 minute. 1 minute. Go on.
Worf is got to have one scene where he's going to flip out. It's coming, even though he's been killing people and telling people he's pacifist. Something's going to give, and Worf's going to go ape shit, and then maybe have this maybe I was wrong and being. Maybe he's in charge of one of the ships. Something's going to happen to Worf. That's another one. Okay. Troy and Riker have to patch things up about their kid. That's kind of a two.
But they did that in 8.
Yeah.
Well, they got to go somewhere. Where are they going to go back on the pizza planet, which they don't like about?
No, they're leaving the pizza planet to go back to.
They're counting things that are already resolved. No, keep going on your list.
They're not already resolved.
Go on.
Got to see.
Go on.
Like the Lord of the Rings.
All right, that's 3. You got 4 more. Let's go.
All right, and Picard is going to die again.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. He's going to die again. And
I have no doubt it ends with him.
Jack is going to take over his body. Something's going to where maybe his brain becomes part of the Borg collective. Something's going to happen because he's positronic. It doesn't make a difference where he goes. He can upload himself into the collective, and Locutus can kill the Borg.
Well, as Data says, I'm positive we're going to die.
Yeah, I like that. That was good. And who's the only one left?
Right, that's 4. Go on.
And Crusher. Crusher's gonna be upset because she just lost another kid. She already lost. She's gonna get Mom of the Year.
All right. I'm sorry, buddy, but respectfully,
Wesley's gonna come back and fix it.
No, he's not. Respectfully, all those are subsets of we resolve whatever's going on with the Borg. We resolve what's going on with Jack specifically. I'll grant you Picard is going to die, but everything else, as Wayne has already said, has been at least we're going this way. So to show Geordi hug his kids, that's going to take a minute. To show maybe Kestra's going to pop up at the end, or at the very least, Kestra, we're coming home. That's going to take a minute. Give me a fucking break. There's more than enough time. And if I may, also, you are assuming that the last episode is only going to be 50 minutes long. A lot of these shows will take more time if they need it. I bet this is going to be a longer episode. I'm not sure how long, but I'm sure it's going to be as long as it needs to be to resolve everything in one.
I'm going to boycott the whole thing.
All I know is when Luke fucking Skywalker shows up at the end and saves the whole goddamn day, I go, I knew it. Star Wars was always better than Trek every fucking day.
Chris Topher says Worf is going to pull out his purple bazooka to save the day. I don't want to know what that bazooka is.
That's like a porno movie, isn't it?
Hey, what's that?
You're already wearing the Worf stash right there.
Hey,
Mitch.
Boom, chicka, wow, wow.
I don't know. I think Mitch is going to sell me a timeshare by Mohegan Valley or something.
You know, I found out. Wait a minute. Hold on. I got my Wilford Brimley hat on.
There you go. We're never going to die. We won't get any older. We're never going to die. By the way, I'm the same age as Paul.
I know that's
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd was the same age as Wilford Brimley was in Cocoon. I go, holy shit! One of those people was really doing something good, and one of them was like fucked up.
All you got to say is diabetes.
Diabetes.
No, I know. That's why whenever I see old shots of Wilford Brimley, I'm like, all right, I don't look that old at least.
You know what? If I get a thicker Tom Selleck, I'll talk to you about reverse mortgages. How to steal your house from underneath you.
My buddy Don the Gambler, what's the over-under on how long the episode runs?
All right, I'm betting under an hour.
Mike says 65 minutes. I'm betting, under an hour is very loose. It is. I mean, it could be 52 minutes. It could be 40. 39 minutes is under an hour.
57 minutes. Like the ketchup, 57. Right. I'm going with 57.
I kind of agree with Mike. I have a feeling it's going to be with the credits. I bet it's going to be over an hour.
They're going to go for a 3-hour finale. That's what I'm thinking.
I love that. And also, I was going to say, the 10 episodes would have been a great 3-movie arc. You could, end at episode 4, and that's the first movie. You can end at episode 8, and that's the second movie. And then you got 9 and 10.
You know what it also would have worked at? As a 10-episode series, 3.
You know what it worked? 3. Like those crazy Vulcan women show up and put a phaser to their head and shoot themselves. Can't wait to see that again.
Romulans, but yes,
Romulans, whatever.
Yeah,
what a waste of. You ever look back and go, what else you could have done with that time?
You know what? But I will admit, and I was because I fell asleep on my first watch of episode 9. Dare I say, if you try and rewatch the first season of Discovery and there's still a lot of warts, it's a lot better than the other 3 seasons of Discovery. So
really? Even better than the Pike season? Oh, no. Season 1 was good. When they had Larcos?
Lorca.
Yeah, that was a good character. It wasn't bad, Discovery Season 1. Then they fucked up.
Then it went sideways, yeah.
Season 3, if it wasn't for Captain Pike, fuck that show.
Okay, so Chris says it's not a sex joke regarding Worf's purple bazooka. It was not it was a phaser. It was a phaser rifle.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in First Contact when they're on the hull of the ship.
Yeah.
And
when he says it, I'm assimilate this.
Yeah.
There
are many laser rifles, but this one is mine. Yeah.
I wonder if it's the same rifle that Beverly used in episode 1 of season 3. Maybe not. Maybe not. Anyway, moving on. I'm trying to think of other things that I liked about the episode.
Have you rewatched it? I watched it twice.
Yes, I did.
It was so exciting that all the music and all the callbacks. I was like, oh, this is great. The second time, it actually just kind of breezed right through. I was like, wow.
Mitch, I had the opposite reaction at first. Like I said, just the idea that I'm like, all right, the Borg again. Okay, fine. But actually, when I really listened to them explain everything, it's like, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah, I like the science behind it. I thought that was an interesting way to try for the Borg saying, we screwed up this many times. Let's try something different.
Yeah.
And a slow moving plot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to say.
Get the chills the second time. The first time I got the chills, I was like, oh, they're playing the music. There's the ship.
I'm so glad that I had the opportunity while the Star Trek experience was in Vegas to walk in and walk through their recreation a couple times of the bridge of the Enterprise D, because it's a very big set. It is gigantic. I want them in 3 to explain, and they kind of already did a bit when Geordi said to Worf, the drones are already loading the torpedo rings. But that's a big fucking ship for 7 people to run it. And I know Star Trek 3 Search for Spock, but Scotty explained that he had an automation system, and as things got tense, it's like, I didn't expect to take us in combat, man. It's we're overloading this automation system. A chimpanzee and 2 trainees could do what we're about to do.
Geordi's smart. He learned from Scotty.
I realize that, but I want there to be some sort of dialogue, because that's a big fucking ship. And it's like, all right, there's 7 of us. Okay.
And there's the battle bridge.
Yeah.
Which is not the saucer section.
That's right.
That'll be interesting. Will they separate?
Will they separate it?
And will we have? All right, 2 of you.
They don't need to, do they? Yeah.
They could.
I don't know.
For a moment, I thought they were going to get the Enterprise A. I was like, oh, what are they going back for? I was like, they're going to go back
yeah.
for the ship.
I thought that for a second too when they came back for it. I'm like, I bet you it's going to be the first
Yeah.
ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Claro, welcome, Claro. I believe this might be your first time joining our conversation.
Oh, please.
Do we think the Allison Pill Borg Queen will tie into this somehow?
I hope not.
I'm saying no.
No, please.
Unless, much like whatchamacall, the motion picture, perhaps Allison Pill Borg and Jack Crusher will get down and we'll get a new life form.
You know, at one point, I did think it was that god creature from Star Trek V. I really did. I said, that is going to be so out there. But when he was like, what's behind it? It's an ancient. Well, she said it's an ancient voice. I go, oh my God, it's that fucked up thing in the center of the galaxy. Never expected the Borg. I was like,
did
really?
you see? I don't remember. Wayne, I'm hoping you'll remember this guy's name. But the oil slick entity that killed Tasha, Armis, was it Armis?
Yes.
I love that so many people were guessing it's going to be Armis, man, because he's kind of like a changeling. He's like this goop kind of bad guy. They left him alive at the end of Skin of Evil, that episode. And I'm like, that's fantastic. There's no fucking way it's going to happen.
And they did that nod to Tasha Yar with the hologram.
Yeah, is everybody saying that because Tasha showed up in
no, it's even before. It was even before they showed the Tasha hologram.
It was going to be those little worm things from the first season that they never finished. Remember that? It sent a signal. Those little, we see peaceful, whatever. And the guy blew up with the bugs.
Coexistence. Wow, wow, wow.
I thought that's
obviously if restoring the Enterprise D was Geordi's pet project for his retirement cruise, he hooked it up to be run by one pilot. I guess, but again, combat, So
it's loaded with torpedoes. They're ready to go and ready to fight.
Yeah.
Apparently, they got torpedoes in the museum.
That's a big armada that they're about to go up against. But okay.
Yeah, but you know what? It's going to be like Star Trek Beyond. They're going to start playing Beastie Boys Sabotage. It's going to disrupt the signal, and they'll go right through it, going. They're going
to do the Picard maneuver and pretend they're in all different places.
That's when they separate the saucer from the battle bridge, and then the two of them go into it. But it has to play the Beastie Boys Sabotage.
It's going to be a battle of the mind.
Geordi's been restoring this thing over 20 years, but he hasn't had the time yet to do the couplings to separate the saucer, so you can't do that yet.
Okay.
Wait a minute. If Data was inside the Daystrom Institute and they brought them back because he knew Starfleet was being infiltrated and shit, shouldn't he have figured it out that the Borg were doing whatever?
Well, maybe he wasn't fully functional at that point. They were just using him. They were just using his software.
I don't know.
They have more personalities in there.
Again, all right, we got a great idea. We've got our super secret Section 31 base with all this.
Yeah, where are those people?
Shit. The AI. Let's put the unstable positronic brain in charge of our security. Right. Good plan. Really good plan. Well done. Don Lenser looking out for you, Mitch. Did Andrew Robinson sound like the Scorpio killer in Deep Space Nine? Insert Terrificon promo here.
Why, that would be right here. Terrificon. Connecticut's Terrific Comic Con.
Look at who did the little head sketches for you.
That's Ordway. Oh, that Arthur Sodom did that one, and Billy Tucci and Mike McCone, and I don't know.
Who did Hawkman? You don't know?
Hawkman is Rags Morales.
Cool.
Scott Hanna, people.
All these are appropriate people.
Other people.
Mike Zeck.
Nice.
Yeah. Garcia Lopez right there. There's a
nice.
Batman. There's no Franco on here. Michael Jai White.
Who did
Nick Fury that year?
Afua Richardson. You've been in all of them.
Afua.
Yeah.
No, there were a couple I missed.
That's I don't know who that is. Oh, Chris Stevens. That's it.
Nice.
I wasn't at all of them. I missed a couple.
You did. You went on vacation once, fool.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, yes. Andrew Robinson will be at Terrificon.
Looking forward to it. Clara says, thank you. Happy to join the conversation. His theory, or pardon me, her theory, I'm going by the O, Clara, is Jack going to gain control and take down the Borg from the inside.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Benevolent Borg, yes. And that's why. And then he's going to find Jurati. and they're going to get down. I'm telling you.
And we're going to see Zero, because Zero has to be involved too, because he took on the Borg.
Oh, the
From
Romulan?
Star Trek Prodigy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Zero took on the Borg.
The
That's
Medusa.
why when you were thinking about the changelings and not being able to be assimilated, well, they could assimilate the Medusans.
I'm assuming Prodigy was years before this show.
No, but I'm just saying Borg technology.
Wow.
It probably
Borg
is
can
a couple,
assimilate anything.
it probably is a couple years, or it's either contemporary with or a couple years before Prodigy. I'm not sure. The Wheeze
before?
asks,
Really?
hold on. The Wheeze asks, so did the Borg evolve the changelings? No.
Where's Hugh? Is Hugh going to show up?
He was
He
dead.
did.
Season
Did.
1.
Hugh Bye.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Season 1. Yeah.
Yep.
It was so monumentous.
That's
I can't
why
forget.
all the useful characters, also like Icheb, dead.
Icheb's dead. Yeah.
Yep.
Nope.
All right, Mike says Mike's got a question. So was the Borg who Vatic was answering to?
No.
Well, again, it could be the Borg Queen or maybe one more reveal.
Well, it looked like,
I
if
thought it
you
was a
remember the
changeling.
image, that the floaty gooey stuff.
Yeah.
If you look at the back of the Borg Queen, they look similar. When you showed the Borg Queen, they kind of had like the little horny things and that.
Well,
I don't know.
now that Jack got into the Matrix at the end of the episode when that spike got him in the back of the head, I go, oh, maybe it's all a dream. Maybe we're all just sitting somewhere and Picard's eating a steak dinner. I don't want to know what happened.
Maybe
I said,
Keanu
"Let's
Reeves,
do this
John
thing."
Wick 4 shows up at the end of this in episode 10. Takes
No,
some
Picard's
takes down
gonna
all
go,
the Borg.
I know Kung Fu. And he's
The
going to
Wheeze has a question, and I know it's an easy question to answer. How did the changelings evolve? It doesn't make sense. Sure, it does. Again, that rogue group of changelings was led by Vatic, who was manipulated by Starfleet or Section 31 to re-infiltrate the changelings. And I'm assuming that she is the one that either she linked with them, and that's how they got the same genetic changes that happened to Vatic. That's my supposition.
Yeah, just like how they introduced the poison to kill them in DS9.
Right.
Yeah.
So to answer the Wheeze, Mike Jones says experimenting by evil scientists at Starfleet. So it started with Vatic and those 10 others, and then they infiltrated however big that faction was, because it has to have been more than 10 to, or maybe not, but to I would assume take over the various transporters. And introduce the Borg gene and everything into the transporter system.
You know who's going to help show up and save the day? I was thinking, because they need a fleet. The Klingons will show up. Maybe because it's a threat to everybody. I mean, Starfleet going rogue and blowing up everybody. Worf's there. Doesn't he have like any pull with the Empire anymore? He can't
I'm sure.
Hey, we need all. They've done it before.
Sure.
Or was that just which one had the whole fleet show? Oh no, that was Strange New Worlds, where they had the Romulans. They went at
it. Those were all robot ships that Kirk
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, but I'm pretty sure if they're doing a throwback to everything else on the show, we're gonna see that dun, 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 dun. You're gonna see all the Klingon
birds of prey.
Yeah,
maybe
because they're gonna need help.
I can't take anything Mitch says seriously when he thinks and goes like this. I can't.
Snidely whiplash.
I cannot believe your wife hasn't already said one word: shave.
My Guma likes it.
My Guma, nice. I've been watching The Many Saints of Newark again on HBO. Hey, R.I.P. HBO. Hey, brilliant idea.
It's called Max.
Yeah, it's called Max.
I was like, wasn't it called
HBO is the gold
Cinemax
standard. HBO
No.
is the. I'm talking over you, Mitch, because once again I'm not done. HBO is the gold standard of a cable and has been for decades. Let's get rid of that name.
Yeah,
but they were going to have to do something because the new bosses took over, and there needs to be a change. That's how corporate works.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
And also, they've got egos at Discovery, and God forbid we think of HBO first and foremost for this merger. Oh no, we bought them. Yeah, great. Fuck you and your how-to shows. Why don't you put together a television streaming service? There's a DIY for you to work on, Discovery.
Yeah. And they're going to
Or-
rename
No,
DC
no, no. You gotta
Comics.
go like this. Yeah.
They're going to rename DC Comics D&C. And they're like, ooh, that don't sound good.
Discovery presents DC Comics. Exactly. Jesus Christ.
He did an abortion joke and it just went nowhere.
I'm still 2 behind on the arc, but man, I love it.
I'm all caught up except for the last episode.
Yeah, me too.
Pretty good.
But he hasn't watched The Mandalorian, though. So what the fuck?
That's
And
pretty
there's
good,
only
too.
one more episode.
I know.
Of what? The Mandalorian?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, yes. Everything ends next week. Then we got nothing to do. Literally. No
Who's trying
Star
to get to yell at?
Trek. Wednesday and Thursday.
I haven't. I know. Well, we'll take a break again.
Oh boy.
I'm just saying. That's all right.
You can watch The Odd Couple.
Johnny's gonna go crazy with no one to talk
I
to.
think I know.
Oh, no. Don't kid yourself, because really there will be more Trek talk on Word Balloon. Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly, the IDW Star Trek writers, Chris Cantwell from Star Trek Defiant. Cully wants to come back, Hamner, and talk about Picard once it's done, and several others do as well. So, and also we will come back before Strange New Worlds, because Skokie Spidey from the IAP podcast has rented from the library season 1 of Strange New Worlds, and he's just getting started with it.
What's a library?
Yeah, exactly. So Mario says Mandalorian is great.
Yes, it is.
Would you ever rewatch and review old Star Trek episodes? Do people want us to do that? Feel free, everybody. If that's what you want
I
us to
have
do.
the library.
I mean,
They're on everything, aren't they?
I've got Paramount Plus, so I mean, it's very easy for us to do.
I have the Blu-rays.
Max has all the movies. I've been watching the Star Trek movies on Max.
Not yet, but soon in May.
What is Showtime going to be retitled? Show.
They're gonna
So
go.
what's
They're gonna go
Cinemax?
for the middle. Otai. They're gonna go instead of Showtime. Otai.
Okay.
Middle.
They're they are restructuring, I think, Paramount Plus and Showtime in
are.
terms of streaming, because they're all owned by Viacom. So okay, Weez and Mike Jones are saying yes to reviews. I'm okay with that.
On
I
TV.
mean, but I wouldn't want to do the entire seasons of everything, because that's 700 plus episodes. But
What else are you gonna do?
I don't mind. I don't mind significant. It's kind of what Gabe Harbin and Ian Brill and I have done regarding our movie rewatches and stuff. And it's like, all right, if a movie interests us, then we'll do it.
Let's just take them one at a time in between other seasons of stuff.
Balance of Terror
Yes.
would be one of my original series requests.
Journey to
I'll watch
Babel.
the shitty ones.
Journey to
like
Babel,
Spock's Brain.
Doomsday Machine. Which one?
Encounter at
Spock's
Farpoint.
Brain.
Spock. I would watch Spock's Brain again. I love
Piece of
Spock's-
the action.
I love Piece of the Action. I
I like that one. That's not a bad
Sure.
one.
I've been there. They got a ship. Ellis, get me those scrambled eggs. Mel Sharples is one of the crime bosses.
Yeah.
No.
Of
What
Iosha.
about The Cloud with Zephram Cochrane?
What's that about? Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that
Metamorphosis.
one.
Sure,
Yeah.
with Eleanor Donahue. With
No, that's the
Chris
empath,
Tucker's
isn't
girlfriend.
it? Oh no! What's the empath? That's the one
Yeah.
where the girl couldn't talk.
When I first saw the empath back when I was a little kid, I hated that episode.
Yeah.
Now I really respect it, because with no budget whatsoever, man, you want to talk about lights off? They're in complete darkness. Everything is symbolic, and that is a weird but interesting third season episode.
The Galileo 7 episode is good.
That's a good one.
I love that one. Come on, his first command. Well, Spock,
Yeah.
someone's your first command.
The ones where they what was is that the Cloud City
God
when
damn, we got a lot of them.
No, what's
that's-
the one where they go into the thing they have to kill themselves because they have the computer statistics about the war and
Taste
how
of
many people-
Armageddon. Taste
Yeah,
of
that
Armageddon.
one was always like, I don't know. I watched it, but I was never like, I guess.
I think it holds up because it's almost like gamers. It's
Yeah.
like a gamer
Yeah.
planet or whatever,
Mhm.
or even
I can see that.
scenarios. I'm not thinking right now, but
Well, good science fiction will hold up no matter the decade.
Twilight Zone, 70 years later, still amazing.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
Yeah.
What?
Damn it. He's lying.
I don't know.
I didn't see Twilight Zone consistently until the 80s, because in Chicago they just didn't run the reruns that often.
Used to be
And
on
it-
Channel 11 here every
Oh
night.
man, finally. And it was literally like me and my roommates we're like, God damn, man, we always heard about the Twilight Zone. This is why. What a great show.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
In New York, you had The Odd Couple at 11 on Channel 11, and then you had The Honeymooners at 11:30, and then midnight was the Twilight Zone.
That's
it's
great.
Like every day. And Star Trek was usually on at like 6 o'clock at night when I was a kid.
Kolchak was on at midnight.
Kolchak on
syndicated. Really? Wow, that's impressive because that's barely a full season.
Yeah, no, I would remember. My parents didn't care, and I was watching it.
Yeah, but back then a full season was 62 episodes.
Well, there's that.
Weez, I disagree. I mean, I agree. Next Gen season 1 is the worst of the 7. Yeah, but that said, there are a handful of very strong first season episodes.
There's a couple good ones in there.
Hey, Goodbye. The first Dixon Hill is a fun episode still.
Not the Sex Planet.
No, that's not a good one.
Oh, that's a horrible one.
The one with the suspended animation Klingons trying to convince Worf.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one.
There's all the times Riker like stepped over a chair to sit down.
There's the Riker. I'm going to do that at this panel at the show. I want to see if he can lift the leg. I was like,
he's 70. Leave him alone. Jesus.
Is he 70?
Yeah, I worried about Henry Winkler a couple years at Terrificon because he was going to like bypass the steps and jump on the stage. I'm like, Henry, there's steps right there. Please don't break a hip. Good Lord. Fonzie, my hip.
That was like Billy D. Williams was in a wheelchair for the whole show. And then when I went to do the panel, I went to go get him, and the wheelchair was empty. I go, oh, my God, I lost Lando. And he's standing off to the side. And I go, why aren't you in the wheelchair? He goes, if you could have somebody push you around, wouldn't you do that all day? I go, well, yeah, I guess I would. He goes, I can walk. I literally thought he couldn't walk. I was like, oh, shit, he can't walk? No,
that's outstanding.
He's Lando, man.
Yeah, I don't think so. Weez wants Code of Honor, the one where the tribal men want Tasha Yar. I don't think so.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Horrible. They're all embarrassed by that episode, which I sort of love.
The Omega Glory, that's one that I love only for the end, but it's kind of stupid too at the same time.
The original series.
Cupid is one of Michael Dorn's. Oh, he hates that episode.
Oh, that's
they do the I am not a merry man.
Right, that's the Robin
merry man.
Yeah. Well, that's when again, much like the Borg, Q in small doses could be really impactful. By the time of Voyager, it's like, fuck you, Q.
Remember Tracy Torme, Mel Torme's son? He was there. He wrote the one. What was it? The Casino, not Casino Royale, but when they were stuck in a book or something.
It was called the Royale. Yeah.
I liked it. And that girl was pretty as hell. She was on Spencer for Hire. I can't think of her name. She was Minuet. Or is that no? That's the one where the little binaries take over.
Are we going to review all these things now, right here? I thought we were going to do a
separate episode. We have 625.
No, but that's season 1 or season 2. The Royale. That's season 2.
Royale season 2. Season 1 is season 1 is when they introduced Minuet, and then I don't remember the season. But it's what the one where Riker wakes up and he thinks it's 10 years later.
The one after that is the Royale with cheese. That's right.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh,
I like that episode.
Was it Thomas Picard Klingon episode where they were dealing? Worf was dealing with the dishonor.
Sure.
Those are amazing episodes.
Yes. Absolutely. No. Again, Worf's backstory is amazing. Yeah.
I guess it would be harder to review Enterprise because that one has the least amount of good episodes.
But there's still, I would say, a handful of significant episodes.
I just have an issue with season 3. They were in the
the cloud, the continuum thing, or whatever the fuck it was called.
It's just too long.
My suggestion is we do every episode of everything in chronological order.
Oh man!
So we start off with Enterprise.
Enterprise,
and then Discovery.
Yeah.
But it's
and then we stop.
Canadian Yoko Chips records shows in advance and literally say, okay, we just did this in 2023. This is going to be out December of 2025. And I'm like, I would lose that in the interim of those 2+ years. What are you doing? We're going to talk in May about Babylon 5. And he goes, yeah, I think it's going to come out the fall of 2025. I'm like, whatever you want, Blaine. That's fine. I'm cool
Here's
with that.
a question for you that no one knows the answer. Do you think Patrick Stewart in real life will retire soon? Forget Star Trek. I'm talking about just everything in general. Because have you noticed his performance?
I think he likes it too much.
No, I just want to say I don't know if he's plain old and tired because he's supposed to be 90s. Because I was telling my wife that today. Because I go, I don't know if that's his honest delivery now, or is he acting really old, or maybe that's him now. I don't know.
could see him playing Lear, going back to do like a Shakespearean play.
No, but I'm saying physically.
But
know.
But
I don't know,
you have to be really old to play Lear properly.
Again, I hear what you're saying, Mitch, and you're not really answering Mitch's question, but I hear what you're saying. I don't know if it's an act or if you're really slow. I've been saying that as well.
Yeah.
And it's really just, well, I suppose we need to do something. It's like,
I know.
Let's go, move it, chop, chop. Like I said, Ian McKellen is like dancing circles around him with his vocal style and everything. But as other friends have told me, and they're right, different people age differently. So
I know. I mean, he's probably in better shape than all of us, but I'm just saying, I saw a picture the other day of Gene Hackman, 93. God bless him. He was pumping gas and stuff, but he retired, they said, over 20 years ago already. I'm like, wow, really? Gene Hackman retired in his 70s and he hasn't done a movie since then? So,
well, he paid off all the ex-wives, so he's okay now.
Yeah. He's no Shatner, that's for sure.
Yeah, goddamn. I kind of want to watch that romantic comedy that Shatner made a couple years ago. It's on Amazon for if you have Prime. But Weez, you're right. How many chief engineers were there in season 1 of Next Generation? Absolutely, man.
Where's Dr. Pulaski when you need her?
She fell down an elevator shaft at a law firm.
What? Oh, that's on that other show.
LA Law.
She's still with us, though, right, John?
Oh, no, yeah. No, and a very awkward.
Did you hear? What did I catch it, or was I mistaken? But when they assembled the fleet and all, wasn't there a Pulaski, a ship?
I saw a Cochrane. I saw a
They said something. They said something of the USS Pulaski or something like that.
Oh, there was even a ship named after that dude from Enterprise C. I caught that. The McDonald guy. What's his name? He was in Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
He was the first officer, Ramirez or some shit. I think.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Mike says there was a starship in episode 9 named the Pulaski, and that's
once again, Franco's right.
Franco is right.
Look right there. Franco's right.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Chris McDonald's character's name is on the tip of my tongue.
Oh, it's the USS Shooter McGavin. That's what it is.
So much for Denise Crosby's character coming back and being a big baddie in this show.
I don't know. I'm bummed. I'm bummed.
Back.
Well, she was a hologram.
Seela's coming back.
That same Mike also said Shooter McGavin. Exactly.
Yeah, right? Oh, my. Yeah.
Sulu got a ship, USS Oh My. Exactly.
And then they blew up the Excelsior just to piss him off.
Too much, man.
But that ship always had a bad rep.
Oh, okay. Here's one for you. My buddy who says, you guys are all bullshit. They'll throw whatever fan service they want. And all you guys are eating it up. Did you think this whole season 3 was a please forgive us for fucking your Star Trek up the first 2 times as an apology? Or was
I've said it before. I'll say it again. You can give as much fan service as you want, as long as it's written well. This season, written well.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have a problem with it.
Compare it to Star Wars and Obi-Wan that had a ton of fan service, but honestly could have been written a hell of a lot better. I agree with all that, Franco. I believe, Mitch, answering your friend's question, that I believe that was certainly Terry Metallis's goal. But as far as Kurtzman and company, the ones that oversee it, they had a season 3. Akiva Goldsman wanted to focus on Strange New Worlds and some other show. Kurtzman was moving on and trying to figure out what to do after Discovery and was busy coming up with Starfleet Academy. And they were obligated to do a 3rd season. They tapped Terry Metallis and said, you got a short shooting schedule, you got a small budget, what do you got? And he came up with this great idea of keeping it all on ships. So that obviously reduced the budget, and pitched them on, hey man, let's give everybody what they want. And I'm sure the biggest guy they had to convince was Patrick Stewart. So he had to find a way that was agreeable. And again, it's not that Stewart had any animosity to his old cast members, because they're all friends, and they you hear them say it all the time. We see each other all the time.
Yep.
The show's been off the air for 5 years, and we see each other all the time. So it's not that. It was just, again, Patrick Stewart really wanted to explore Picard's, personal journey. And I think Terry convinced him with the Jack Crusher story. What about a son? And your responsibilities to a son that you've neglected for most of your life, and suddenly you find out you have this son, and I'm sure that appealed to him on a personal level, and also that you need your guys to help you out.
I'm fine with Picard being three seasons and ending, as long as like next year we get 3 seasons of Riker, and then after that we get 3 seasons of LaForge, or I wouldn't mind that.
Dude, I'm telling you, I think they made the case for a lot of these next generation original cast members to continue. There's going to be a hell of a lot of great novel ideas, I think, coming out of this.
And then also, I was going to say the show, aren't they developing Legacy?
No, that's what we want. They're not.
I don't think that's real.
Yeah, well, again, now that we got these streaming numbers, and that was from earlier this month, so it's going to be very interesting when the next group of numbers come out, and I bet Picard will again be in the top 10. Paramount should pay close attention to that. I want to acknowledge Jason's comment. Terry Metalis tweeted that the Alison Pill Borg are from a different timeline or whatnot, to say these are the real Borg and we can't wave the old stuff away. Yeah.
Hey, did Strange New World spin out of the positive response that the Pike character got from Discovery?
Yeah,
I mean, that wasn't like planned. They were like,
absolutely.
Hey, people
I
like
think
it.
Everybody made such an uproar about that they're like, oh, okay, maybe we should do this.
Yes, I really have to talk to my old contact who's no longer in the Star Trek offices,
right?
And I don't want to name him, but I want to ask him if Pike was the plan all the way, or as we all suspect that it really was like, hey, all of us, not only the newbies, but even the old people, we like Pike. We want more of this guy. Because like I said, to the contrary, I heard the producers were not happy with the way Anson Mount was playing him. And they wanted, keep it down. This is really more about the new kids and stuff. And Anson Mount's like, it's Christopher Pike. This is a significant guy. There's a reason why he's remembered, and awards are named after him in Star Trek canon and everything. It's like, no, he's like George Washington. You can't minimize George Washington, dumbasses.
No.
But again, the mere fact that they've announced this Star Trek Academy show, which is so empty of ideas, and shame on me.
Hot.
Yeah, I know. But it's so empty of new ideas, and it's going to be teen drama that you can insert in any genre and not specifically Star Trek. I want Star Trek. I want more of. We all do. We want more of.
They make surprises.
I certainly hope so. I certainly hope I'm proven wrong. I mean, it took me 2+ years to finally go, okay, I get Lower Decks, and yes, there are funny episodes, and they continue to improve.
Well, in their defense, they have surprised us continually. We thought Discovery was going to be good, and it wasn't. We had doubts about Strange New Worlds, and then it was good. So they've surprised us every step of the way.
I didn't have doubts about Strange New Worlds, honestly. I really didn't, because it was like, oh, Christopher Pike's show.
Yeah.
Well, and they said, hey, it's going to be episodic.
Yeah, but I had doubts about what they were.
I don't know. Yeah. If they're so worried about money, I wonder why they don't just do like what they do with Star Wars and do like an animated Titan series with Riker doing the voice, because you don't have to worry about aging. It's just voiceover. I'd watch a season of that. Like, hey, here's what happened with Riker.
I think they see, especially in the case of Prodigy, an animated show as an opportunity to introduce people to Star Trek. Lower Decks being a comedy and being a parody of Star Trek in general, I guess you can have more member-berry references to old stuff. I get that. But it had to be more. It really had to be funny on its own. It took a while for them, I think, to reach that possibility. Watching
The Mandalorian now, it's like they mined all those shows that were on for years, the Clone Wars, the Bad Batch, and Rebel. I mean, literally, they're live action versions.
Well, you have the guy who's in charge with Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, who did all those shows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's easy for them.
And Ahsoka is basically a sequel to Rebels.
Yeah,
if you saw the trailer.
Correct. Yeah, no, and Thrawn is in it. I'm like, this is all the characters from the cartoon now. So.
I gotta admit, when they said, "Hey, more Rey,"
yeah,
all right,
that was a surprise because nobody was really looking for that.
Well, her story's done. I mean, that's like,
starting.
Rey Palpatine is done.
Yeah.
Rey Skywalker has just begun,
mm-hmm.
and she has the orange lightsaber.
I agree with this guy.
It's a new. She's on a different path now.
Yeah.
Jason wants to know, did anyone catch Will Wheaton weeks ago after the show with Frakes talk about the moment they were all on set together for a day, but quickly cover that saying he heard about this day and he wasn't there? No, I didn't notice that. And maybe Wesley will show up at the very end here. I'm going to take Jack away and I'm going to teach him how to be good. Oh,
I'm going to wipe his mind.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
I know you like him more than me. It's not good.
I avoid that show. It spools up after the episode's over, and I just delete. I don't bother watching that Ready Room.
We says, did we notice no Ready Room this week? No, I didn't. I hadn't.
I noticed no Ready Room every week.
I know. I was
I
like,
just
I
skip
don't
it.
watch it. Yeah.
And Wesley says at the end of the day, less people watch animation. That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah. Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I do like Prodigy. I'm liking Prodigy, though.
Guys, honestly, I cannot wait to talk to the Habermans about Prodigy because it's a smart show. It's smart. I was just telling another friend who's like, animation. I'm like, I am telling you, for being fresh, new ideas in Star Trek, quite impressive.
I was talking to a friend of mine the other day who watched Disco, and was not impressed, and kind of left Paramount and Star Trek behind.
Sure.
And he's heard me talk about Strange New Worlds, and he's like, well, I gotta maybe come back and watch this, and he loved it. He loved everything. And I said, the next one you got to watch is Prodigy, because Prodigy is really. He goes, the cartoon, really? I'm like, yeah, you got to watch it.
Yep. So. Yep. There you go. Weiss says never watched Prodigy. I guess I need to.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it for
Mario,
a
I
long
disagree.
time.
He's like, this season's Ready Room isn't that bad. Wes seems to have toned it down a bit. I still see him squeaking. With excitement. So, there you go. Langley joining us right at the end here. That's good. No, we're not done yet. But
oh my God, you missed it, Langley. John
rewind.
We'll start all over again.
Franco whipped out his purple laser rifle,
I don't think
like Worf. Yeah.
His purple bazooka.
I plugged Terrificon, Connecticut's Terrific Comic Con at the
And he
Mohegan
went through
Sun.
a whole list of artists that appeared on a poster.
Yeah, don't pick it up again. I don't want you to deframe it again.
No, everything fell apart.
Right.
It's hot in here. It's like 80-something degrees.
Turn on a fan. I got my fan going. All right, there you go. You know how you'd sweat less if you didn't have that hair lip happening right now.
It's getting thicker. It's going to be a month old this weekend.
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
TMI.
You need to let your upper lip breathe.
It's
Get
getting
rid of that
thicker as I rub it.
I thought it would grow in faster because my grandmother, God rest her soul, she can grow a mustache. No, she was full Italian. She was right off the boat. Grandma Amelia, God bless her. I miss my Grandma Amelia. She was like, "Oh, what the fuck are you doing?" She'd swear, she'd flip you off. She didn't give a shit. She was like the honey badger of grandmothers. She didn't give a shit.
Stanley wants to know how the weather.
How will the weather be for Terrificon? Well, since we're on the sun, the Mohegan Sun, it's going to be a hot time for everybody.
No. Honestly, yeah. I think it rained one year, and only like one day or something.
Like a submarine. You don't know.
But no, honestly, Stanley, the weather, my experience has always been the weather's amazing. And even just literally that area outside of the panel rooms, just sitting out there and compressing between panels was just so soothing. And they got deck chairs in various areas just outside the resort area and stuff.
Dancing girls.
And if the weather is horrible, you could just stay indoors where they pipe in oxygen and Muzak, and you could just not go outside.
Franco's the one that called it the submarine. I always think of that. He goes, you go in on a Thursday and you come out on a Monday. You have no idea what day it is, what time, who's president. It's like
it's almost like a mini episode of COVID. You just go in and you have no concept of the outside world at all for 3 days.
No, you don't.
Jason,
I hear you. Back home.
I hear Jason. He said I wanted to hear O'Brien on the intercom when they boarded, and they
that's
told
cool.
Jordy that they just got the transporters working. But man, it was great hearing Majel Barrett.
Majel Barrett, that was cool. They didn't have to pay her.
Yeah, did she donated her vocabulary, right?
Yeah,
I believe that's true.
Yeah.
So maybe they can use it in future stuff. I know they've used other women as computer voices in newer stuff.
She also, when you call, she'll tell you what time it is and what the weather is. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Currently 10 degrees Celsius.
Yeah. The alarm is set for 5:38 a.m. Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but
try the
played-
Yellow Pages.
I don't know if you remember, but I played a prostitute in Westworld.
What? No, she did not. In the movie?
In the original movie, yes, she did.
How old was she then?
I don't know. Do the
Two?
math. It was post Star Trek. It was
Yeah,
early.
well, yeah, but Jesus God, I thought she was knocking on like 40 something in Star Trek, right?
Or maybe she was a madam. I don't know. But
Oh.
she's definitely in Westworld when they're in the bordello.
She's no Jess Bush, who just turned 30 years old last week.
Oh my
Happy
God.
birthday, Jess!
Wasn't she the original number one?
Yes, she was.
There you go.
And I can't say anything
Why not?
He
because
just
of
can't.
the surprise I might have. Tune in next week, and you might find out who might be at Terrificon.
Exciting and new.
I was going to find out today, but somebody didn't send me their flight information. Curse you!
I told you I'll get that to you. Relax, will you?
No.
I told you I was driving.
Yeah.
You didn't
Yeah.
have to fly me in.
Oh, I wish you would come through Toronto because somebody will be up there filming.
I looked at it just as a joke, and it's a fucking hard. It'd be a drive.
No, you know,
It's
who's
like
gonna-
it's 4 hours. It'd be 4.5
Yeah.
hours for me to get to Toronto,
yeah,
and then another 8 to get to you.
yeah. Well,
be
we'll
worth
see
it.
what happens. I'm not going to say anything.
But I
about
do
who
it.
this person
I do
might
it. If
be.
you would ask me to do it, I'll do it.
It's really hard to.
I got a hybrid, so you know it's not. It's going to be easy on gas.
One would say she's going to be totally blue too.
I'm up for the drive. I can
Oh,
do it. My
calm
dad
down
drove
there.
trucks. I can do
I'm
this.
down there. Let me tell you, you know it's a bad flight? Nova Scotia. We have Steve McNiven coming in from Nova Scotia. You know how long the flight is from Nova Scotia to Connecticut? When you look on the map, it's like, well, it's not that far away. But when you actually have to get airplanes, it's like 3 different airplanes in 20 hours. I'm like, what?
Well, wouldn't he transfer at Pearson
Yes,
in
you
Toronto?
tune into Mitch and
I was going to say, well, welcome to
Gonna say-
it.
now.
Atlantic Air
Let's talk,
Travel
yeah,
here.
let's talk about travel and leisure time. Yeah.
What do they have in first class?
Oh no, Mitch and I've already discussed flights.
We
Oh,
do.
God.
Fly to the Phoenix.
Jesus Christ. All right. We can continue our Atlantic air travel.
Yeah. Not easy getting from Canada.
Oh, I hope by next week, although there's so many other things I have to watch as well, but the Tetris movie that's on Apple TV,
It's very good.
I'm hearing nothing but great things, and I love Taggart Edgerton, or however you say his name.
Yes.
Terracon, plus whatever.
Kid
He's
from
great.
the Secret Service movie. What the hell is that movie?
Oh, okay. Wheeze, are you really trying to go Mitch on? Where is Terrificon? I live near you.
What? You live near Yukon. You never heard of the Mohegan Sun? It's only been
What?
happening there for 8 years.
What?
It's at the Mohegan Sun in lovely Uncasville, Connecticut. I don't know what else
You
to
should
tell
come,
you.
Weeze. It's a good time.
Yukon
is.
from Yukon to Terrificon is about 20 minutes, maybe 25.
Like-
really?
I
There's
have
a
an
rumor-
8-hour drive to come down to see it,
Yeah.
and it might have to be a 12-hour drive just in case.
There's a rumor that the 4 of us are going to be doing a live broadcast from there.
Well, Johnny
Really?
gave up his room today to Butch Patrick, so I don't know what happened there. Oh,
Hey, hi, I'm Eddie Munster. I'm taking your room.
Hey. You
Hey,
know, Wayne's giving up his room to Sam Jones.
Hey!
okay, and
Well,
again,
you
give
said you're
the
in
dates
14 hours.
because clearly Google doesn't work for the Wheeze. What are the
But
dates?
when it is, hold on. I don't know where the postcards are,
I
but
think
somewhere.
it's July 31st, isn't it?
No, shut up. That was last year. It's July 28th. July 28th to the 30th.
Yes,
at the end of
July
July.
28th
Thank
to the
you,
30th.
Stanley.
That's what I have.
Yes. Just
And
go
the
to
week-
Tripicon.com.
The week before that, I'm going to be in
Nobody cares.
San Diego.
I
and
don't
I'm gonna
know.
be there
I'll
with
come to your
Franco.
show, and then I might be going somewhere else overseas after your show. It's going to be.
I don't
a hell
want
of a treat.
overseas.
I don't want us doing a panel with you brain dead, Franco.
And then I'll
I'm
be
warning you now.
in Vegas the week after.
Yes,
Mitch's-
you will be for Star Trek.
Yes,
Yes.
creation. Yes. Is it
Yes,
still
Jess
creation?
is going to be there.
Who's going to be there?
Jess Bush.
Oh,
Right.
yes, she is.
Yeah, she is.
Damn it.
Oh yeah.
Gonna be here. Wish she was.
I'd love to go one year. I'm telling you, I'm still bummed that I missed Mission Chicago last year. here.
Yeah, but you got that Hall of Famey thing.
Yeah, I know. But and don't get me wrong, I'm very proud and
Hall of Fame, Schmall of Fame, that could happen anytime.
exactly. Listen, I need to go to the Star Trek convention. Can you move the Hall of Fame proceedings?
Yeah, because they don't. It seems like Repop has cut them back. Like they've started to cancel them.
Right.
I am hearing
Right
very
there.
good, Mitchell. Very good. All right, so it's right there on Mitch's description. That's good, Mitch. You should really do that from now on. But anyway, I was going to say that I had heard one of the reasons why they did Michigan Chicago was that Reed had signed for a convention at. Did you tell me that, Wayne? Somebody told me that on that weekend, and they kind of had to move fast to come up with an event because they couldn't, like renegotiate and get their money back or whatever. So they wanted to use that weekend.
But I thought they signed because Creation didn't get the license to do Star Trek. That's why it's the 57th year mission. So they just sort of put numbers. Oh, Creation. No. Creation lost the license 2 years ago.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Creation's totally out of it. That's why they cannot call themselves a Star Trek convention. They use like the 57th year mission convention. But I thought Reed got the license from Paramount
Maybe
to do the Star Trek conventions because they were supposed to do one in Seattle, wasn't it?
Correct.
And then all of a sudden it just went poof.
Are we going to talk about the Star Wars Celebration big convention that Reed just
did?
did?
We kind of were already when we mentioned.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, there was a lot. Here's the thing: do you think a lot of these projects actually can come to fruition? Because I say this, a couple years ago they announced a bunch of movies that just got canceled. I mean, sometimes I go,
this guy, you mean Kathleen Kennedy? This guy?
No, it was like, oh, we're going to do the Rogue Squadron movie. Oh, that sounds like a good movie with the Kathy, whatever her name was from Wonder Woman. That got canceled. Oh, Ryan Johnson's going to do a new trilogy. That ain't happening. It's like
Kevin Feige was going to do.
Why do you build these people up and get them excited, and then you just pull the rug out from under their feet just because they need something to say? No, Kevin Feige comes through with the movie he was going to do. You mean? Yeah, that's gone.
Well, I think that they overextended and shot themselves in the foot when things didn't come out of the starting gate the way they wanted them to.
Yeah, we're going to do another Solo movie. We're going to do a Lando TV show. None of this is happening. I'm like, what the hell happened, man? So
no, I agree. Stanley wants to know will any of us cosplay at Terrificon. I don't know. I keep threatening to do.
I'm gonna get a bushy mustache and go as Mitch.
Go as Mitch, exactly. We're all gonna have mustaches and go as Mitch. There you go, Water Buffalo. Very nice. Hello, hiya, Fred.
I'm gonna come as a barbarian. I'm gonna walk around and yell at people and pretend to be John Suntress.
Well, I can bring a couple of lightsabers down.
Hilarious.
Hard to do.
Just make sure everything's dark and blurry behind you.
Hilarious.
There you go.
There you go. Very nice. Do it.
That's
outstanding. It's close. There you go.
Guilty.
Gee, what are you guys?
Guilty.
On the left side, Mitch and I are on the Titan.
Yeah,
we're on the Galaxy.
The red light going.
Franco and Wayne are on the Enterprise D.
Make it even better now.
So I'm still bummed about Shaw.
Yeah.
Listen here, Hanson. You've got to go. Hey, look, we can see John's bathroom. Move it to the other side, Johnny.
There it is. It's part of my bathroom right there.
Hey, my mustache looks even better like this.
All right, I think on that note we should be done.
Sexy.
If we're down to talking about Atlantic air travel and Mitch's mustache looking better in the dark.
All these years, I didn't realize that the fat gets covered if you turn off half the lights. So.
But have you seen the Ahsoka trailer and the Secret Invasion trailer?
Yeah, I didn't know there was a new Secret Invasion trailer.
Yeah,
I saw the Marvels trailer.
I saw the Marvels
and the Marvels trailer too. Where they're doing like in the 70s with
Freaky
the
Friday
exchanging between Rick Jones
with the
and Captain Marvel with the Nega bands.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah,
like
Marvel. Yeah, DC. Yeah.
Like it.
Nothing else going on. That's it. No movies, no nothing. Shazam's already on pay-per-view or whatever the hell after like 2 weeks. So that's really sad. Is what it is.
Have they announced a date for Quantumania making it to
the 18th? I believe it's coming out.
Oh, really? Next week?
Yeah. I think they still can't figure out what happened. They're like, wait, it didn't make like a $500 million. It didn't. I don't think it made 400 million. So, oopsie.
They had realistic expectations for some of these movies. I don't understand.
Ant-Man, for fuck's sakes. I keep telling people, like, you don't understand. It's Ant-Man. That's not like a heavy hitter in the Marvel universe, okay?
They got Spider-Man. Why can't Ant-Man be a big thing?
Because he's got less legs. It's not a big thing. Your quantum leap thing, you didn't talk about that? That's over? I don't know.
I haven't finished it yet. Shame on me.
It was good.
Yeah, I liked what I've seen, and I'm glad it's coming back.
Is it over already for the year?
Yep.
Wow, you guys really have nothing to watch on TV soon. So
Not true. I like a bunch of non-science fiction stuff, like Mrs. Maisel's back for its final season. I want to watch that Kiefer Sutherland show on Paramount. That looks cool.
There's one that's coming up on Prime, this Citadel with Stanley Tucci.
Yeah,
that looks cool.
Yeah, that looked good.
Yeah, so no, there's plenty to watch. I just,
Ant-Man made $474 million.
Wow, it almost got 500. Sorry, I heard it was a bomb.
Unbelievable.
Not a bomb. We live in a world where 470 million is not good. I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
How much did it cost to make?
They don't have the budget.
Thank you, Langley.
I kind of agree with Mike. He says they took Ant-Man away from its original premise. The first two were heists. The third is a mega epic. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Made no sense.
So,
Yeah, it was a mega epic heist. They had to get themselves out of there.
See,
Weez, you're insane. Bomb after bomb. This could be the end of superhero movies.
No.
Not everything could be. Thank you. Yes. No. They might. Weez. They might pull back. That genre is here to stay.
Yeah.
It's like the Western.
Well,
it could be cyclical.
Sure.
Easy for you to say.
Exactly. Clearly. It's that Canadian accent getting in the way of your English there, man.
The French accent too.
Indeed. Poker Face was good, says JD. Very good. I'm glad I got to catch up on that. Yes, and Clara is right. The Titans show is back for its back end of this current season.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
No buttons, so yeah.
Hi, Two Sheds. How you doing? Glad you're watching. But there's plenty to watch. It's just not going to be a lot of sci-fi, but that's fine. In 8 weeks, we'll be back with Strange New Worlds. But
when's Doctor Who come back?
November. November.
Oh, really? Jesus Christ.
Well, to coincide with the
60th.
the 60th. Yeah. I forgot that.
So
that's.
I agree, Jason. Superman and Lois is great. Sure, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
I gave up after the second season just dragged, and I just said that's it. I'm out.
I got to tell you, Wayne, when they got into Bizarro World and you saw Bizarro World and everything, a really interesting spin on it. Very interesting spin on it.
And I saw them get into Bizarro World. I just still
it didn't work.
It just dragged. It felt like they could have taken those 20 episodes and made 10.
Bizarro coming back. They teased him.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They killed him.
Yeah, they had the full white, like he looks in the comics and stuff.
I thought they killed him in the second season. He died, didn't he?
He's back again. I just saw it this week. You should watch it, Wayne, because Lex Luthor's going to be on it. Lex Luthor's going to be played by Michael Cutlitz, who will be at Terrificon on July 28th to the 30th.
You mean Abraham's going to be at Terrificon?
Yes, and he was also in Band of Brothers and a lot of other shows, Southland, and
Wayne, we talked about this before. It's like these 20-something episodes of a season are just like they're really like kind of spreading themselves too thin. I like these 10, 12 episode seasons of something like a Picard or something like that.
Yeah.
Unless it's a pure procedural where it is a different story every week. But
Right.
yeah, you have these overarching stories.
And that's what killed Enterprise was the overarching story in season 3.
Mhm.
Well, the BBC have been doing it for years like that. They would do these short seasons, like 10 episodes, and Americans would be like, what the hell are you talking about? What do you mean 6 episodes is a season? They're like, that's it. We just tell one story, we move on. It's like,
Again, it's a different budget and the way they spend money on TV, because what I was always told by the old hands who come from the 20 plus per season thing, they would make their money back
Syndication.
in syndication.
Yeah.
There 100 episodes.
Mhm.
So it was kind of a pay now and reap the benefits later thing. But the model has changed. And also in the case of British television, a lot of it was government funded by the
Yep.
BBC, so they didn't have those same aftermarket resyndicate. I mean, they would make money and certainly syndicate their shows around the world, but yeah, it was just a different business model. So yeah, but again, things are changing. So we'll see.
We'll see. So
And I agree with Mike more so than the third season. What really killed Enterprise was being on UPN, and also everyone's favorite former CBS executive Les Moonves, who was running UPN, didn't like sci-fi, didn't get Star Trek, and if a Kerry McCluggage, who was the previous guy who was running Paramount, it would have continued. It would have continued, but it didn't. I mean, again, what are you going to do? And it's a shame because I think the fourth season of Enterprise was a vast improvement.
Yeah.
And when Manny Cotto was the showrunner, and those 2 and 3 episode mini arcs, there were a lot of great stories in there, man. A lot of really good stories.
That when John Shuck came on, they explained the Klingon stuff. They were like, "What happened?" And those were getting good. And then it's like, "What? It's over?" Yeah.
That and the Vulcan Forge, and you got a backstory of T'Pau. And
yeah.
And you had T'Pol's, but kind of like T'Pring with Spock. You met T'Pol's betrothed husband and stuff, and there was a massive Vulcan conspiracy going on. The great Robert Foxworthy was the Vulcan in charge of that, much like he was in Deep Space Nine with the attempted coup d'état of the military taking over Earth and everything in that 2-parter Homefront. So yeah,
Speaking of shows that are coming up that piqued my interest was I think it's on Peacock or Paramount. I can't remember. Mrs. Davis, the Betty Giblin. She was in Nurse Jackie, and she was in Glow with Alison Brie, the blonde. It's a sci-fi end of the world type show, I believe, where she has to go look for the. I'm not remembering correctly. Where maybe she has to look for the Grail or something like that. It looks pretty interesting. I'm gonna look it up now.
Yeah, you can look it up before we finish.
Langley
agrees with you. He says Mrs. Davis looks nutty as hell.
Right? Yeah.
All right, what are you playing with, Mitchell?
That's the Holy Grail right there.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, there it is. But but it's got a Jurassic Park thingy in it.
No, that's Ankara.
Oh, from Temple of June. Yeah.
Temple of June. Yeah, Temple of June.
Temple of June.
That says
Temple of June. I got the set. Yeah.
The theme song killed Enterprise. No.
Well, it was kind of goofy, but yeah, it was all right. Had lyrics.
But a great video sequence of the opening of Enterprise.
Yes,
I love that, and I also love the Mirror Universe 2 episodes they did where they had the Mirror Universe opening to Enterprise. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
All the military space and air campaigns. Very funny.
Yeah, it's on Peacock. Faith versus technology follows an epic battle of biblical and binary proportions.
Binary?
Yep, that's what it says.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
On and off switches.
Correct. Betty Gilpin is her name. Yeah.
Oh, her.
A story about the tension between technology and faith. Simone, a religious nun, must save the world from Mrs. Davis.
Hold it. Isn't a nun religious to begin with?
Hopefully, you would think.
Yes.
All right. Anything else?
I got nothing.
No.
Renfield is really good and funny if you want to go see think of John Wick, but with a vampire.
Cool.
The action scenes were like John Wick.
Good to know.
That's good.
Yeah.
And it's a short film, so you'll be in and out quick.
It's what?
It's a very short film, and you'll be in and out.
Like 90 minutes short?
Yeah, something like that.
In and out. I don't know if
In
you want
and
to be out.
Did you go out and about?
Out in a boot.
Leave him alone. Leave the Canadian alone.
Can't help it. Thanks for coming, everybody.
All right, everybody. Very good. Last word from Langley. Enterprise Season 4 managed how to do a Trek prequel series without screwing up canon or story like with Discovery.
Huh.
Well said, Langley. Well said. Absolutely. So, no, everybody, thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate everyone understanding the technical difficulties we had. Wayne, you choose poorly once again with your cup. That is clearly not a carpenter's cup.
That would be me, but that's fine. The mustache confused him.
I got to start doing this, and then you'll know the difference.
Yeah, exactly. I want you to get the wax, the tips going, the Raleigh fingers look.
I want to get that.
I'll need the Vaseline on my gloves so I can make sure I fire that nickel ball in quick enough.
I'll have the handlebar mustache by the time Terrificon comes.
Or a Fu Manchu. I want it dripping from your chin. Definitely.
Ooh.
All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care. We'll see you next week for the final episode of Star Trek Picard Season 3. Will they stick the landing or fuck it up? Join us, won't you?
57 minutes. 57 minutes.